Yeah, so basically the New Jerusalem manifesting, this is everything that's happening there. And then the Messianic seal of Jerusalem being a part of the covenant of Christ being revealed, the pacemaker, 7,000 art, like it's all there. Anyway, the Celtic or cosmic cross is everywhere the symbol of the ancient world order, which took as its standard the archetypical image of the cosmos, therein represented. This symbol is at the foundation of St. Joseph's Chapel, built on the site and preserving the proportions of the original Wattle Church, the first ever Christian establishment, of which the 12th century historian William of Malmesbury wrote, "The church at Glastonbury did none other man's hands make, but actual disciples of Christ built it." And that's kind of the replica of the roundhouse. This is what the roundhouse represents, a Wattle Church, one roof for all religions. How all of that manifested, that's beyond us. The church, then disciples of Christ built it. Yet this sign and portent of the New Jerusalem was first marked out on the Glastonbury landscape many centuries before the birth of Christ. The prehistoric ley system of aligned sacred sites, rediscovered earlier this century by Alfred Watkins, is now well known through its original use and purpose still obscure. But Glastonbury is the first place where the leys have been shown to conform to a regular geometric pattern. And like its original use and purpose is still obscure. That's why the time wasn't right. We hadn't yet found the keys that we left behind when we had to leave Atlantis, the Glastonbury Star Temple and all of that. So with this being like the portal of Isis of Atlantis, dedicated to the divine feminine ever since, and the priests and druids knew that, and that's why Joseph Arimathea was given the 12 heights of Glastonbury as a sovereign state. Simple. First place where the leys have been shown to confirm a regular geometric pattern. This pattern is the New Jerusalem, the heavenly city on earth, whose form, the dimensions are given by Plato and St. John of Revelation in token of its former manifestation and promised restoration. Wow. So Steiner, in this article that I read today, he talked about the reappearance of Ahriman, and he also talked about Elijah, St. John the Baptist, and St. John the Evangelist, which I do believe is that St. John of Revelation. Which one is St. John of Revelation?
John of Revelation.
Yeah.
That's not John the Baptist.
No, it's St. John the Evangelist.
Yes.
Okay. He's on one of the windows in where the chest was with the clay in St. John's.
Right.
And Steiner talks about St. John the Evangelist. Yeah, it's all there. Nothing on earth is perfect, but the image of perfection exists in the cosmic entity, that unique system that combines in itself all the opposed and apparently irreconcilable elements in nature, consciously or unconsciously. Men will always base their philosophy on the current theories of cosmology. And this is why the cosmological science was so highly regarded by the ancients. The modern idea that the universe is in the state of explosive and irreversible expansion, which is absurd because there is no space outside itself into which it can expand. It is at the root of the modern philosophy of industrial, economic and technological expansion, and provides, as it were, its sacred justification. The ancient doctrine was that the universe, though ever in flux and never static, is nevertheless constant, maintaining itself by its own laws in a state of dynamic equilibrium. Similarly, human nature, though influenced by varying moods and cycles, is also constant and provides a true standard for determining the value that should govern a civilized and harmonious society. Since no two forms on earth are precisely identical, the perfect archetypes to which they all refer must be recognized as the model which, though never manifest, is yet within the reach of the refined imagination. So the archetypes, like he's talking about the archetypes that we've been living out in the archetype of the New Jerusalem. Is that true?
I think so. I think it is.
Magic, and there comes the Tor. perfection of the heavenly order can never exactly be reproduced on earth. Yet, within the limits of human nature, perfect harmony and a state of high civilization, peace, happiness, certainty, and knowledge can be achieved by adopting as the standard in all matters, individual and social, the true image of cosmic reality, which is depicted in the sacred geography of Glastonbury. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. So the true image of cosmic reality is like the Glastonbury Zodiac, the Stone Temple of Avalon. Once activated, everything falls into place, kind of. And this is what's playing out right now. And there is no right or wrong. There is just one truth and one unity. And with that unity, awareness, this is when the ego is going to fall apart. And then to think that even like the opposition, but they're not really the opposition, because they are just playing out their part, you know?
Yes.
Like Dillis said, oh, don't call it black magic, call it dark magic, because it had to be there for us to see what's happening.
Yes.
And yeah, beyond beautiful. Today, everything is falling into place.
Even that book. Gareth, who printed the books, sold it to me.
Yeah.
I don't know whether the number's got any significance. I think it's a numbered copy. I didn't choose it. She just gave it to me. What does it say, doesn't it?
Number 36.
Right.
That's a 9. Beyond. But this is literally...
That's really nice, that book.
Yeah, it's lush.
It's a reminder, isn't it?
And then to think how on the 20-year anniversary of your book, Glastonbury Grail, Light of the World, which appears to be the script to what we both had to live through.
Yes.
And what we did, and then to have this other book coming in that somebody else channeled with the tent, with a fire, and with my sign in it.
Oh, that guy.
That's
kind of Kent. He comes from Kent.
That's beyond. This is
he
beyond.
Was like, what? How did that happen? He was seeing that through his. There's no doubt about it, was it?
No.
Did that blow him away? Do you think?
It blew me more away than him. Yes, it did, because he had no idea what that meant when he kind of channeled that.
Did you just see it that afternoon for the first time?
Yeah. On that day when I walked through Glastonbury and told everybody, truth bombing the place, basically.
So what? So he must have. He's kind of like a prophet then, in a way.
Kind of, in a way, yeah.
Shit.
So are you?
Not for profit.
No, not for profit.
But I think it had to be done